Hello and welcome to the Random Pinoy Geek podcast, the show where we geek out to 3 random topics until the timer runs out. I'm your random host, Sushi, and with me are
Elvin
and JR!
we're friends and geeks who grew up in the Philippines, and in each episode we hang out and talk about things that are near and dear to all our little geeky hearts. But before we start, if you would like to support the show and our content creator ready to take the next step in your journey, check out episodify.com. They'll help produce and edit any content you're creating, whether it's audio or video, short form or long form, they do it all. That's episodify.com. Now, on to the episode. To start things up, I want to ask you guys, if you were a chicken, would you be a chicken from KFC or a chicken that fights in a cockfight? Elvin?
What? Why would I want to fight at the cockfight? Like, I'm gonna die anyway. Why do I have to die violently rather than die overgorged with food than, pass into, I guess, a very honorable end of being a double down?
Do they gorge?
Yeah, they're like fed. They have to be fed a lot in order. Whereas
They're fed. The legend is they're fed through hoses.
Whereas a fighting cock is like has to be lean and mean, and you're like, no, I'm not.
Green fighting machine.
Whatever color they are, and then they die.
But they have a scandal, I think, with KFC that they mistreat their chickens.
Yeah, I mean, but to be fair, that scandal also says the chickens are mutants with 6 legs. So,
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if it's
true. If it's true,
because yeah,
like a monster that's just breast and thigh.
I have a better question though. Would you rather be KFC chicken or Jollibee chicken?
That's a very difficult challenge.
First without gravy and next
without
with gravy.
Without gravy each time.
No, without gravy, KFC or Jollibee?
Oh, well,
Jollibee for me.
Jollibee.
Chicken Joy. Isa pa.
Crispy-licious.
it's not. That's the thing. It's not about crispiness for me. Crispiness is great, but I do enjoy the saltiness of KFC's chicken more.
11 herbs and spices.
Yeah, the salt of it all.
The salt of the earth.
It is so good, and I like the flavor of KFC more. I will be more of a KFC chick. I am.
Fun fact. I actually tasted Jollibee without the breading.
And
as like
it's
one
the
of those,
same. It just doesn't have the crispy. No, this is not like the
thing.
SM stuff. Because I my first full-time job was a Jollibee.
Mm-hmm.
Crew? Cook?
I was a counter person.
Okay.
That's literally what we were called. I'm not saying I'm a counter person. No, that's literally the job title, counter person. And then it's a long story. There was like some guy played the prank on me, or some guy was an idiot. And because back then in our Jollibee, you got fed Carinderia food for lunch.
Oh,
the Jollibee is partnered with the Carinderia, where it's your lunchtime, go next door, eat there. You don't get fed Chicken Joy, right? So anyway, I was in a late shift, like a closing shift, and then there was a lot of people. I had to go overtime. I didn't get to take my lunch, so we were closing up, and one of the more senior guys told me, like someone said, like the manager said, have the cook fry you Jollibee.
Oh.
So I went to the cook and Chicken Joy. So I went to the cook and said, hey, the blah 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 said, yeah. Anyway, and he was like, yeah, we already cleaned up, so there's no breading, there's oil, but blah blah blah. So he said, okay, no breading. So yeah, I got to try it. It's the same. Like you lose the crispy texture, but the taste? Is the same. It's as good.
Isn't it juiciness that you get
Juicy-licious. Not from the crust.
Is it true that they inject stuff?
I don't know.
Well,
I was there taking people's orders.
I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with injecting meat with extra flavoring, because that's a very common thing.
Yeah, marinade.
After they're dead.
Yeah, of course. Not during their life. It doesn't make sense for them to do it
Just
during
have
their
to
life.
no. What was Sushi's question? Injecting when?
Well, to marinade.
Exactly, to
That's
marinate.
fine. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's like that's a common thing for larger birds.
We even have the syringe thing at home where it's a syringe without a needle, but like a plastic tip for marinating. Yeah, for turkeys. It's for turkeys. There's
With a
no
big hose.
I never tasted turkey at home, but we just had the syringe thing. I don't know what my mom used it for.
Because
Or it
turkeys
was
are
a gift.
really big birds,
Also
and
expensive.
the breasts are so
Thought
thick
that you need it.
that you need in order for it to penetrate.
Yeah, but I just don't know why we had a syringe because we don't eat. Like,
Possibly
eat-
used for ham?
you could also insert it for like other meats.
Yeah, but you just slice the
Possibly.
ham.
Well, to inject, I guess. But injection
Yeah.
is a thing that some people would like to do.
Yeah, I don't. I just never knew what we used it for.
I think a good
And-
question to think about as well is like, were you guys able to eat the Texas chicken during the
Recently?
first time that it came to the Philippines?
Yes,
That's the name of the
Texas
No, no, I
Oh, you weren't
haven't.
around in Texas
I think
chicken?
it was 92 when I tried it.
Yeah, it's like early. No,
I
not
remember there was a Texas chicken, not in Mega Mall. I think
Near
in
Mega Mall.
Julia Vargas, right?
Yes, along Julio Vargas, there was
Yeah,
a
I got
Texas
to try.
chicken.
Yeah, I got to eat it there.
And it was before the Texas chicken were really big. The chickens are really big before it got like Filipinified
yeah.
because it was a fresh franchise coming in. I guess their inventory was still the U.S. inventory that they were importing in, but back then it was like really big chicken, really flavorful. That along with another thing, Popeyes, back when it first came out.
I also got to try that.
The Popeyes chicken before was spicy, was big. The chicken thighs were really big.
Just to be clear, Popeyes,
Chicken.
the stores here now, or
There-
Popeyes opened before?
Yeah, they
Popeyes,
Nineties?
Popeyes in
Not 90s.
and Texas were open before.
So Texas was 90s, early 2000s.
Mhm.
Popeyes opened late 2020 to early 2010s, like after 2006.
Something I know. So yeah, that's why
Mhm.
when people are saying Popeye just open, my first thought, oh, I ate. I know I ate them before.
Yeah, and before it
okay.
was bigger, and also it's like the default flavoring of the Popeyes chicken was like a bit spicy.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
It's what Texas and Popeyes taste like in Singapore. It's
Mhm.
similar to what
yeah, I think
what
it's
we
still,
got before.
yeah, it still maintains that flavor.
Yeah.
But when you talk about chicken,
But KFC is, like you can't go wrong with KFC.
Yeah.
Right.
and I think one of the biggest problems with like the cockfighting angle is the fact that fighting isn't just like natural. Oh, we're gonna fight. They're gonna peck each other. No, they're given blades. They're given weapons.
Mm.
They're forced to fight, I guess.
They're forced to fight.
But
yes,
they
but,
are forced to fight because like millions of pesos or dollars even are on
but
the line.
the chickens are given blades.
Mhm.
Blades are attached to their legs, and so I've seen the thing where the chicken goes hurricane kick, and then you see that it decapitates the other
Suruken?
chicken.
No, wait, no. Not Suruken. The other one.
Sempu something.
Suruken!
Or just go spinning bird kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, the spinning bird kick, and then it decapitates it. So that doesn't seem to be a good life.
I don't think the chickens actually do that on purpose, like use the
Of course
blades on
not.
purpose. It's just coincidentally they hit some, like, yeah,
Because it's these because
they have the thing there, right?
the claw just to fight. Anyway,
Yeah.
and then humans, the amazing humans that
They
they
figured they could
they'll put
glue
more,
blades.
yeah, they put big razor blades to the end, making it even more deadly.
It's a lot of layers because like it's like there's the animal stuff to it. There's also a lot of people became broke because of online
Gambling.
sabong during the
Mhm.
pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
and then a lot of people were killed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah, but the idea of being that type, I don't think it's kind of like, just imagine like being blood sport, even just in boxing. I don't want to be a boxer. Do you want to be a boxer? Do you want to be a cook? I'll just be a cook.
if I were gonna be a boxer, but it's like
You're thinking about how to maximize the amount of time, minimize the amount of time that you're boxing, and maximize the amount of money you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
it.
and then you're dead by the time you're 40 because of whatever. If you're not good.
Yeah.
because of brain damage.
But like you can be a fighter like Floyd who just doesn't get hit. But you have to be good enough that you never get hit, I guess.
If I'm good enough at anything, I'd rather do that thing. Whatever thing it is that I'm really good at.
It's funny, like
If it's being food, then it's being food.
it's like that episode of The Simpsons where Homer discovers that he has an extra thick layer of fat around his brain, and that prevents him from getting knocked out.
I don't remember this.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna go with the crayon episode.
No. But so Mo brought him to like a boxing match where Bum fights, and then the Bums would fight him, and then they'd keep punching him, and he wouldn't go down, and then eventually they tire out, and then he would just nudge them, and then they'd fall. And so he'd do that until the last part of the episode where he fights Roderick Tatum, which is like the Mike Tyson analog for The Simpsons. And then after one punch, boom, it's like, even one punch he can't handle from Roderick Tatum. And so he was saved by Mo on a helicopter, like the backpack that's like a fan. But but that's sort of like, if you're good at getting punched in the face, then that's where you'd want to be. That's kind of like what Homer was. He's like a good guy, gets good getting punched in the face. I also remember an episode of The Simpsons where he's like, "Oh, I'm so delicious," and he starts eating himself. I think that's a Treehouse of Horror episode.
That sounds like a Treehouse of Horror episode.
Yeah,
there was one point where after I wasn't able to follow The Simpsons anymore, I just watched the Treehouse of Horror episodes.
And it's a fun thing.
It's not because it's really good. It's just that if you can't watch everything, then might as well have something where you can still watch everything of
a little bit.
Yeah, something like that.
It's kind of freaky. Homer starts.
It's a Treehouse of Horror
Yeah,
episode.
it's a Treehouse
That's
of
what
Horror
happens
episodes.
in Treehouse. What's the name of the aliens?
Kang and Kodos.
I'm not sure about Kodos, but yeah, Kang. Anyway, yeah.
Kang and
So both of you guys want to be KFC chickens. Is that it?
I would be a KFC chicken.
You'd rather be
Than
than
a
you
fighter.
Jollibee if I had the choice.
Oh, okay, all right. Jollibee chicken. Well, it looks like it's unanimous because I also prefer to be delicious chicken.
I think the next question that we would ask ourselves is what part.
Oh,
Because
so
I
you
would
guys answer.
I would be a thigh.
Same.
A thigh is a great piece.
Not the drumstick?
No, thigh is bigger than the drumstick. It's similar, but bigger, more meat,
Wait,
Tastier.
more skin.
the
You
thigh includes a drumstick.
No, I don't think so.
What do you call that part? The leg part.
The leg part.
I think there's a Tagalog word for it. They use it in Mang Inasal.
Which is?
Pecho.
No, pecho
Yeah.
is.
Really?
Yeah, pecho's breast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's
I
it
don't know.
for my topic, and it just made me hungry. That's my takeaway. Aren't you guys hungry talking about chicken? All right, and now to our next topic, Alvin.
For me, the topic that I want to talk about here is things that are happening overseas.
The war in somewhere.
Well, not necessarily a
not
specific
okay.
war. I'm just saying that there's like so many things that are happening overseas that are affecting us here. And do you
Global
guys,
warming.
yeah. But if you remember back when we were kids, there were similar things like that happening. Do you remember the big life-changing events that happened during our youth? It's like I like to share mine, and I want to find out what's yours. Just like when the Asian financial crisis happened, where the peso went from 25 pesos to $1 to 50 or
Yeah.
40. And like I was hearing things happening like that. That was like a scary time during school. I didn't understand it a lot because, I was still a little bit of a kid, but I knew that something big was happening. And that was like one of those big events. Fortunately, we were able to survive past it, but that was a time where I think my parents were really scared. And so it was an interesting time. But do you guys have anything similar, like when you were younger, that things that were happening outside because we were kids, we didn't really understand what was happening?
First of all, I do remember that time. The problem is, one, I didn't understand what was going on. And the second one is I was just happy because all of my NBA cards went up in peso value.
Wow, NBA.
I mean, you're a kid who
opportunity
doesn't know anything,
earn.
right? It's
Mhm.
like my $10 card went from 250 pesos to 500 pesos. So like, yo, what's up? Bling bling.
Yeah.
I didn't know any better. Also, we didn't have money, so it didn't matter.
Mhm.
Like we didn't have a stake in the dollar market or whatever.
Mhm.
Or I don't know.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Talking about this now made me realize I was very sheltered when I was a child. So I don't believe I remember a crisis that
9/11.
didn't also
Oh, this is the
I
big
didn't
thing.
feel yeah.
I mean, I know 9/11 was like, it's less impactful for us, obviously, compared to everyone else. But like, you're
Fair.
just, you're watching the Twin Towers collapsing on TV and think it's a movie. It's
Oh, yeah.
everyone's experience of it, and then realize it's
That
yeah,
was kind of scary because like my aunts were living in New York,
yeah.
and so we were there. I remember it's like in my bedroom with my mom because she called me in and it's like, oh look, there's happening in the U.S. And then we were watching the news, and they were trying to call. And the thing is, if you remember back in the like early 2000s, it wasn't really easy to call people overseas.
Mhm.
If you remember, you had to buy a
Yeah.
card, and then you had
Yeah.
to buy collect. So it's like we couldn't really contact them effectively. It was so hard.
Also, the lines were just dead.
The lines were just then going in.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a bit scary because around that time, we were just finished watching Scariest Places on Earth on
This is the
SBN.
new scariest place on
Yeah,
earth.
because we were watching this.
Yeah.
Remember that show? It was like on SBN 21, and it had the voice of this lady from the Poltergeist, like scariest places on Earth, the Pink Room.
I mean, I heard the
Events.
news.
That wasn't
It
my
doesn't-
answer, by the way, but just
Yes,
yeah.
It,
Anyway,
I mean, it didn't really directly impact my life. That I believe I'm sheltered. Really, I guess the recent crisis, the COVID crisis, is the most scary thing that I experienced.
Oh, okay.
and was COVID scary for you?
Kind of.
I mean, aside from like dying,
I
of
get
it.
the existential crisis. Honestly, as an introvert, it didn't really affect me
Yeah,
that
I mean,
much.
it was like, yeah.
It's just the
See
uncertainty
of what's gonna happen next, of course.
of what. Yeah.
No, the problem with that is like, yeah, I know you shouldn't. Like, I'm not happy about it, but also like, you can buy mang inasal, you can buy mang inasal, the chili oil from mang inasal, and take it at home.
Yeah,
You know,
like there's
it has perks.
it does have.
There's
perks. It
no
does have perks, so it's not-
traffic.
Yeah, but you were established that time. So, I mean, financial stability.
But really, there wasn't anything like in your childhood that was like 20, 30 years ago that was something that was unusual that you
The
didn't
Mount
realize.
Pinatubo thing was a thing.
Mount
Yeah.
Pinatubo thing. Did it affect you guys? Were you in Manila at the time?
No, I
already?
was in an island, but it snowed. Is what I thought.
It's what do you mean node?
It snowed.
It's no. Did you?
Is
did
what I
you-
thought. Yeah. That's-
Mount Pinatubo is the one with Lahar?
Lahar, yeah.
Yeah. It
Ah.
exploded in 92.
Mhm.
And then it basically rained ash up to our island. And it was like,
Weeks.
I don't know.
I did
Probably
have,
shorter in
Yeah.
ours. But like, I remember waking
Were you
up.
already here?
I do have relatives in Bataan, so
Mhm.
they were affected. But I guess they handle things
It was
well.
no, because
So
it wasn't bad. You wear a mask. You're
Yeah,
good.
you wear a mask. That's
Or
why
you-
it's like.
Yeah, so it was nothing, to be
You-
honest.
Yeah, you didn't
Ah.
really notice it until you like look at the streets.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
That's when you realize that there's a lot of things coming down. Because most of the time you go to school, you go to the classroom, you're doing that, right?
Oh, we didn't have school. They
Uh,
canceled school.
For us, we still had school.
Why?
In Manila, yeah, still had school.
Why?
Yeah, and then but we were wearing masks, so
But
that-
why?
and then that's when you saw the things in the street, like
Yeah.
the gutters would have like this layer of ash. So it's like,
Yeah,
so
if
there's-
for us it just looked like, the funny thing is, from inside you thought, oh, it's snowing. I'm gonna go out for snow. Maybe you didn't get it, but
you don't
and then
understand.
someone stops you from your house. Like, no, you shouldn't go out. Buy a mask. I remember my mask. It was light blue. It was
Mine was a handkerchief. I
Talking
remember
about talking about a mask. Well, I was brought to Saudi Arabia around 1993 or 1994,
Mhm.
and the Gulf War was ending, I think. So I do remember we did had to wear gas masks.
Oh.
But
okay.
I was really young.
Like, just as a
full-
precaution?
But they were launching missiles, I think. That they had, I
Wow.
don't
The
know,
Gulf
gas.
War is like in Iraq.
In
though, but-
Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was brought to Riyadh around that time.
Oh, I
We
thought you
didn't-
like wearing a mask because like of the Sharia thing.
That's different. that's a tarha. That's different.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
mean, I was too young to remember the effect of that
More.
for me. The war. Yeah, I mean, I guess my elders carried things well that they didn't want the kids affected.
And
with
I
the
think that's
problems.
actually an interesting thing. Like my nephew was like a couple of years in COVID. And so he didn't really get affected. He understood like wearing masks and all that. And then the washing of hands, the using of the alcohol. And he's like understands the going home part. But I think it's like a testament as well of not just this generation, but even us when we were kids, how our parents, how adults around us were it's kind of like protecting us from the worst aspects of these things that were happening around us. Sometimes it's really cool because the things that you remember as a kid about those things were like, oh, I didn't have to go to school that day. Or, oh, there's
I mean,
like
I'm
this-
sure when the kids now remember COVID, it's like, oh, for 2 years we didn't have school. We kinda had school, but no, right?
was the time that I got closer to mom and dad, or there was a time
Yeah.
that
Uh-huh.
so it's
Or like we played Roblox every day for 3 years.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Played
which is the
computer
thing, right?
games. In
Yeah,
general.
well, when I see my nephews and niece, they just like, well, yeah, COVID was
Oh.
awesome.
because they were kids, yeah.
Because
And
they,
they were
they
sheltered
got
from-
to stay in school. They got to play whatever. They had their very fast internet and their, laptops and everything. So
But what was what going to be your answer? You said that
I don't know. That
9/11
that
wasn't-
affected me really bad.
that affected you, that you're memorable, not really affected badly, but more of like something that's memorable.
The
When
the
you were a kid.
ozone layer hole affected me psychologically.
Oh, like a
Like it
existential fear.
scared me.
Yeah.
Not like an existential crisis. It's like, oh, the ozone hole is gonna get worse, and it's just gonna. That hole, by the way, is almost gone, right?
Yeah, it like
healed?
heals, but then we do something that makes it bad, and it opens up again.
another
then it heals.
another hole or same hole?
No, it decreases and gets big, but like it's like gear gout, where it gets worse, but then you have your gout medicine ready, then you control it, and then okay, we're cool for a few months, and then oh wait, okay, so yeah, we kind of have it under control.
Mhm.
I guess it's the way that they explained the ozone hole to us before.
It was
Like,
bad. No, to be fair, it was bad. It's just that we stopped using
CFCs.
CFCs and stuff
Ah.
like that. Like that, we changed air conditioning Freon from our something to what we have right now, which I
Yeah.
don't know. And we did great,
Yeah,
I think.
it's strange. It's like as if we take concrete action to fix something, it gets fixed. Amazing. But
You don't say.
well, here's one thing something that's sort of like a big event in my childhood. I studied in a Catholic school, Jesuit school, actually. And so there was an event when I was in grade 4, if I remember correctly. There's a thing where one lunchtime,
It's a
Sudden-
ghost story, no?
it's not a ghost story per se.
Per se?
One lunchtime, because there's a quadrangle and there's like different floors where different grades were in. Then all of a sudden, people started running out of the chapel. I was like, what's happening? Why is people running out of the chapel? We thought it was like a fire or something. No. Apparently, they saw the statue of Christ like step down
What?
and walk. Yeah, and walk. And then place his hand on one of the students. And the rest just ran out.
A lot of people saw that happening.
Well, that's the thing. That's what they say.
Oh
we
my
don't.
gosh.
What we saw was people.
Getting goosebumps.
Yeah. What we saw was people running out of the.
It's probably
of the
one guy who
chapel.
started the joke, and then everyone just
But several people ran out of the chapel.
yeah.
And the
yeah.
interesting
But
thing.
No,
it's
the running is
a
true.
response. It's a survival response. If you see
Why
someone
would-
running, you would also run.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
Exactly.
So we think that as a kid, you think, oh my god, it's real, and all of a sudden, and I think, myself being like really into these weird stuff is like, oh look, the picture of the saint is moving. It's like, oh look, his hands went from like open hands to like this. His back is arched more than it was before. So like, doing things to scare yourself. It's like, oh, there's these things happening. I think that was like one of my earliest experiences of the thing where panic, where you think you see something but it isn't really there, and we didn't experience it directly. We didn't see it directly, but we saw people that it did experience it, and so that's like something.
It's the running part that could have been a stampede and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
even if there wasn't anything, yeah. I also forgot to mention our school was bombed at one point.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, that's
I
Oh my
just totally forgot about it until you mentioned the running. No, the thing is, I was young, so we were half day, so it happened. Like I was afternoon, it happened in the morning, so it wasn't in school. But we lived across from school, and I heard an explosion. It was like it wasn't like a grenade kind of thing. It was like a Molotov cocktail kind of thing. It's a pillbox. What they call it, a pillbox, which isn't a pillbox technically, because a pillbox is something completely different. But it's essentially like gunpowder and nails and stuff in a small box, like a shrapnel
thing.
I guess you can call it a mini grenade, but not like a grenade. And it wounded a few people. Anyway, like one of the students brought it, and then like everyone was running out, and then I was trying to run in because I was curious what was going on. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a funny thing that, oh yeah, that nothing really happened in my,
because nothing that didn't happen to me is the thing.
Yeah,
I was outside,
but that's a funny
playing
thing
with my Game Boy.
Yeah,
and then
that's just the thing. These sort of events that happen during our lives, when it's put through the sort of filter of childhood, we kind of glamorize it, or sort of there's like.
Not glamorized.
Not glamorized, no, but more of it allows us to sort of experience it in a different way. That there is a healthy respect, of course, to the tragedies of that time, but at the same time, it creates these strong memories, and that can be a positive thing as well, which is a really cool thing. That being young, being surrounded by people that protect us, allows us to experience these things that, although they are horrible in like, generally, we're still able to find something that like allows us to create these stories in our heads, which is, I think, a really cool thing.
So in your head, that Jesus touched someone's head.
Oh yeah, that kid became a really big jerk. So I thought like, okay, this is really the sign that this is not that this is like a hallucination thing. Because if Christ like touched this kid, what did they? This is the one that is going to be evil. do not let this child grow up.
And this kid's name is
no. But
out of curiosity, do you know where this kid is?
No, I know who it is. I don't know where he is.
Like, you know his name. He's not. Yeah, I haven't seen him in Facebook.
I know I've seen him in Facebook.
Oh,
so yeah, but it's not really something that it's a glowing endorsement from Christ. But I don't think I don't think it's a glowing endorsement. But what does have a glowing endorsement here would be episodify.com. Shout out to the folks helping us with this podcast. If you need someone to help edit videos, podcasts, shorts, or whatever other projects, Episodify can actually help you with that. They offer different packages and provide discounts when you buy more hours. So if you're just starting out and would benefit from some professional assistance, or you'd want to make your job easier, give them a call. Thank you, episodify.com. Now, back to the show.
Thank you so much, Alvin. Next up with BJR's topic.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay.
It is.
We're talking about, who's your favorite villain? Like cartoon, superhero.
Cartoon.
Superhero. Let's go with superhero.
Cartoon villain?
Movie, superhero, Marvel, DC.
Marvel and DC or just
whatever. Yes.
It's hard.
Let's go with sushi.
Well,
no looking around for hints.
The first villain that actually came into my mind was Batman's Penguin.
Your favorite villain is Penguin?
Yeah.
Wait, which one?
Well, I only watched one.
Danny DeVito?
Yeah, Danny DeVito.
Huh.
I mean, I could feel for him. I mean, it feels like he's a misunderstood person
he being a
Because he's
small,
different.
bold man? No.
because he's different.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All
yeah.
he ever
That
wanted was
suddenly
a cool
made sense.
glass of ice water.
I think it's a relatability thing for sushi.
Mhm.
But yeah,
I guess.
because that was the whole thing with the gloves, right?
Yeah.
But that's the first. I mean, I can't say favorite, but he was the one that came into my mind first.
Mhm.
I guess that's favorite.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of villains.
DC? Elvin?
Not DC actually. My like the villain that like comes to my mind whenever you say like favorite or like best villain or favorite villain, I guess, is Doctor Doom.
Really?
Yeah, Doctor Doom, because it's such
Cartoon.
No, it comics.
Hmm.
Comics. Doctor Doom, of course. It's just that
Definitely not movie.
no, not movie. Because Doctor Doom is such a strange guy. He's literally one of the worst villains, and at the same time, he's like a really nice guy.
How so? Can you?
So, besides the fact that he is the arch enemy of the Fantastic Four,
Mhm.
and he is a super villain that fights the Avengers and other superhero teams, he is also the duly elected
President?
leader of
Leader,
Latveria.
yeah.
He originally took power over Latveria, but then he was elected to the position, and then he rules them after he abolished elections because it was like a waste of time. Because he's beloved in Latveria. He provides all of the needs of the people.
Mhm.
Any technological advancements he provides, he does not ask of them anything other than, their obedience and loyalty.
Sounds like they're spoiled.
They are kind of spoiled. And besides that, he is the godfather of Valeria Richards,
Hmm.
the daughter of Reed Richards and Sue Storm,
Uh-huh.
Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman, named after
Latveria?
no,
No.
it's named after Doctor Doom's ex-girlfriend, Valeria,
Wow.
who was
Why is this so complex?
it's very complex because Valeria also was
Who's the guy? Who's the child with all the powers?
Franklin?
Franklin, yeah.
Okay. Franklin's the elder brother. Valeria is the younger sister.
But only Franklin is Omega?
No, both of them are.
Oh, okay.
Well,
yeah.
because Valeria is the smartest person in the world. When Sue was giving birth, Mr. Fantastic was trapped in another dimension and she was having trouble giving birth to Valeria. And in order to save them, the Human Torch asked help from Doctor Doom.
Dr. Doom.
And Doctor Doom used a combination of science and magic for the child to be born safely.
Wait, Dr. Doom is an actual doctor?
Doctor Doom is an actual doctor.
Is he a doctor or a PhD?
He is
doctor.
both.
Oh.
To be fair, his medical degree, I think, is from the University of Latveria. So, but he does have a master's
Yeah.
from an American university.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's
not
like,
not that kind of doctor.
but he is kind of like that doctor.
Yeah.
But he did save.
Yeah, Doctor
He
Doom
did
is
say-
weird.
And because of that, he was able.
Isn't he like a good guy now? Like
It's-
properly?
It's complicated.
Yeah.
It's complicated because
He's like the Doctor Octopus of wait, no, that's both Marvel. Yeah, more Marvel.
Well, villains are very complicated in the Marvel universe. And the funny thing about Doctor Doom is that his arrogance is kind of like a superpower all its own. That's such a compelling character because it's hard to find an endearing, arrogant person. In anime, it's actually pretty common because it's like a trait.
It's a trope. It's a
trope
It's
in
one of the
anime.
protagonists is the Sanosuke
No.
Sagara kind of.
yeah, the guy that's arrogant. But in their arrogance is actually the
good.
good.
Yeah.
And that's actually a very anime thing, which I think it leads me to why I like Doctor Doom. It's
Mm.
because when he's portrayed in that manner of being arrogant but honorable, that is the Doctor Doom version of Doctor Doom that appeals to me the most. And it's like a really interesting character.
Mm.
He is interesting. It feels like
No, the
his
problem
brain is
with-
just wired differently.
No,
Yeah,
the problem
two.
with Doctor Doom is it's really interesting, but whenever he's in scenes, like in the cartoon or whatever,
Uh-huh.
the fight scenes are boring
Yes, because it's not.
because it's talking.
Yeah.
Talking and one thing that they need to solve with one thing, and that's it.
Mhm. It's
That's-
not exciting.
yeah,
There's no
it's-
there.
There's no action.
There's no Dark Phoenix that the X-Men need to, there's no complicated thing. He has one trick and it has to be solved, and that's it. It's always that per episode or arc or whatever. It's nothing too complicated.
And then whenever it's defeated, it's revealed that it's actually a robot.
Yeah, a Doombot.
Doombot.
Yeah.
And then somewhere Dr. Doom's like, I apologize. One of my robots went rogue. I would never do something so banal as stealing from a bank.
What?
Why should I do such a thing?
It's
So gauche.
No, mine is I asked that because I looked around and I saw the Joker toys, and people would normally think it's a Heath Ledger thing, and I get that, but also mine is just like it, and it's not because like, oh, he exists because with Batman and they can't exist separately or blah blah blah. It's nothing complicated like that. Mine was like it's a stupid thing why I like the Joker, which is the Jack Nicholson Joker
Mhm.
came across a Batwing, which was, it's a big bat. So what do I need? A big gun. And to me as a kid was just, this is so hilarious. No? Because he pulled the gun that was like this long
I
to shoot
remember
the
that.
bat plane.
And he shot it down anyway.
And it's just like, I like this guy. What do you need for a big bat? A big gun. I mean, Cesar Romero was fine.
Yeah, but Jack
yeah.
Nicholson actually is really good at that. because
Period.
He played the Joker
Yeah.
as if he was a gangster. And if you want to see that similar type of character, actually, watch The Departed. That's the Joker. Jack Nicholson has a scene there where he asks to continue playing a scene. And the scene is him killing a witness or something. That's it. Then he said, okay, let's change it so that it's a girl. And Martin Scorsese is like, yeah, let's make it a girl. So let's play that. He's going to kill the girl. Bang, dead. All right. And then Jack Nicholson said, okay, let's just continue. Let's continue the scene. Jack Nicholson says, my character goes, she fell funny. And then he continues on. It's like, that's a weird way to fall. Why did she fall down like that? And so it's like, it just shows like how well Jack Nicholson understands the psychology of like the gangster psycho. I believe he brought that from Batman, or that's like part of that's a DNA of that character from Batman.
No, but yeah, and then it's also like Jack Nicholson normally has input in all of his roles. Is it
That
right?
too, yeah.
He doesn't take roles where he can't
Make adaptations.
Yeah.
Also, I think Martin Scorsese is like open to that. But-
Yeah, Martin Scorsese is smart. Is one of the things. It's never gonna be a pride thing where like, oh, this is this is how I drew it up. You can't,
Change it.
Yeah,
He's not
change
Quentin Tarantino. Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, because Quentin Tarantino is like,
I know.
hey, I want to change what's on the script. Okay, how about you act the way that I wrote you in the script?
He's like that.
He's like
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
He's kinda like that.
yeah.
He very rarely does ad lib, and if he does, it's like very rare occasions.
It's not that he's not good. Like obviously he's good. It's just that he doesn't. Yeah.
So literally, if you ask him, can I say this instead, and he says, it's not a good idea, he'll say, no, stick to the script.
Is there a
Instance where
is there a theory somewhere that Joker flew out of the cuckoo's nest or something?
The all of the characters
sure
of Jack
there is.
Nicholson that the Joker was created when
Flew
Jack
off the-
Torrance. No, Jack Torrance
I
is
don't know if I remember
from
the
the
name.
no Jack Torrance, because Jack Torrance is from The Shining.
Mm.
So he was a Shining character. Johnny, sorry,
Johnny, here's Johnny.
Johnny, So he didn't die, but he was admitted. He tried to kill his family, so he's
oh, this
admitted
is an actual theory
the where he's admitted to the
to the cook's nest.
the insane asylum. In insane asylum, he was electroshocked, and then instead of Chief killing him, he didn't really die, but he was left in the vegetative state. But when he was being carted out, he escaped and started a life of crime.
And you
Then
can-
he fell that vat, and then he became the Joker.
yeah,
then, yeah.
I mean, yeah. I
So-
mean, I'm sure it's a. Because Jack Nicholson characters are very, Jack Nicholson characters.
They're like Jack Nicholson.
Even if they feel pretty.
But the Joker, Jack Nicholson's Joker,
I'm so pretty.
yeah,
So
it's from
witty.
anger management. Yeah,
So pretty and witty and
gay. But the fact that Jack Nicholson is able to bring that level of like sinisterness and even goofy fun, it's just he can do goof. That's the thing. Even in anger management, Jack Nicholson is threatening.
Yep.
He is
he is very threatening and
exactly. He's scary. And it's like this guy is crazy. This guy is like literally. You don't know if he's a good guy or bad guy.
He's made for crazy role.
He's kind of made for crazy roles. And I think it's a very interesting way of playing the Joker. Because I think there's even like a comic book that came out later where they reveal the Joker isn't just one person, it's like three.
That's a current one. So there's a they even have terms for the actor Joker, the something, but there is a real one, the comedian,
the criminal.
Yeah.
Which I think that's the Jack Nicholson Joker, the gangster.
The gangs. Yeah. Which is supposedly the original. Anyway, movie villains. We didn't get to go through like Marvel. I mean, I didn't. You didn't go through DC and everything. But yeah, for another day.
Yeah.
And that's our show. Thanks for listening to the Random Pinoy Geek podcast. This has been Sushi with Alvin and JR. And remember, it's okay to geek out
as long as you know when to stop.